Fighting games are crack cocaine. Again.
Hyper. Mega fucking hyper. Super duper mega ultra uber hyper.
So here's the thing: the two of us actually didn't play the same game technically, because balance changes.
So yeah, I played the original Xbox 360 version of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and you played the PS4 version, correct?
Yeah. Wait, you had Ultimate?
Yeah, Ultimate still.
But wouldn't you have Jill and Shumagoret then?
No, they still sold you them as DLC.
Oh, alright.
This is 2010 era Capcom, Addy. Keep that in mind.
Alright, then yeah. Then never mind. We did play most of the same game, yeah.
The only exception being that you had Jill and Shumagorath, right?
Yeah.
Because they were kind enough to include them on the 7th gen. Because by that point, Capcom had gotten to be a lot less shitty.
Yeah, but by that point, Street Fighter V released and Tekken took over.
Yeah. Oh man, it's always funny going back and playing a game from like the second mini golden age of Capcom fighting games, right? And I don't mean golden age in terms of quality; I mean golden age in terms of popularity.
Yeah.
Certainly didn't last as long as the first to go around, though, did it?
Definitely not. No. I mean, they also didn't do as many new things with it though, because like it. What did they even release during the second golden age? There was Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
I would say it ended with Cross Tekken.
Cross Tekken. That's 3 games. Meanwhile,
like Cross Tekken is to the second golden age of Capcom fighting games what Capcom Fighting Jam was to the first fucking golden age of Capcom fighting games.
Yeah, that's still just 3 games, and all of them have to do with Street Fighter. Meanwhile, in the first one, we had Darkstalkers, we had JoJo's, we had freaking
that weird mech shit.
Yeah, that weird mech shit. There was also this game that you probably know from Marvel 2 that I forget the freaking name of. I'm actually looking it up. I'm well informed we are. But yeah, so there was this 3D fighting game that they released for the PS1 that had Hayato as the protagonist. Do you remember Hayato?
I do remember Hayato. I don't remember what game he's from. There would have been Rival Schools back then, too.
Yeah, Rival Schools. Let's see, because they do say on the freaking Marvel wiki. Star Gladiator, that's the one. Yeah, Star Gladiator was actually a really fun game.
It was?
Yeah, I enjoyed it when I played it.
Okay, I thought that was the mech fighting game, honestly.
No, I'm pretty sure the mech fighting game had mech in the title. It also had Mechakuma.
Oh. Alright. So, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. When was the first time you played any Marvel vs. Capcom game, Addy?
It would have been when I initially started playing fighting games for the first time, like emulating them. I mean, so like around the same time as KOF and like the Alpha series, I played Marvel 1.
Ooh, that's old. Marvel 1 had a pretty small roster, didn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Like, weren't there just 4 Marvel characters like Cap, Doom, Spider-Man, and Wolverine?
I think it was like 8 characters or so per company.
Oh, that also would have been the one where they replaced Iron Man with War Machine.
Yeah, because I actually read up on that as a tidbit, but that was because of some licensing issues that Capcom was going through with Marvel. Because apparently Marvel has always been a pain in the ass.
Yep. The thing I'm curious about is, didn't Marvel 2 not change War Machine's gameplay at all, but kept both him and Iron Man at the same time?
I think so, but I've only played Marvel 2 in Mugen, so
that would be amusing to me, just keeping War Machine around so that you have 2 identical characters.
More pellets.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I mean, it's important for team building as well, because ordinarily you can't double up on characters, but for
Ah,
Iron
yeah.
Man, you can. Get double the infinite combos.
Light
Bitch.
punch, heavy punch, light kick, medium punch.
Oh, man. One of my favorite little recordings. Ordinarily, I don't like Maximilian Dude's humor, but there's a great recording he did where he was going back to Marvel 2 and trying it out. And he said, you know what? I've never actually done the Iron Man Infinite combo. And then he boots up the video and he watches it and he starts doing it. And he just goes, oh my God. Oh my God. It's actually just this easy. What the fuck, Capcom?
That video, I don't know who made it, I always forget, but that video is probably my favorite fighting games related video. I love it more than I love freaking Evil Moment 37, because Evil Moment 37 is cool, but Evil Moment 37 doesn't have a guy screaming about light punch and heavy punch.
Man. Okay, can I just get in one thing?
Yeah.
It bugs me that Marvel 3 is pretty much a 3-button fighter.
Yes, I agree. I got used to it, but like, no. Marvel 3 is very freaking similar mechanics wise to freaking Persona Arena.
Yeah, there's definitely that.
Yeah.
I've put in a little bit of time with like Marvel 2 characters in Mugen, so that's just about my experience with Marvel 2. But the decision to cut down the amount of buttons seems to limit the neutral a fair bit. Am I the only one who thinks that?
No, well, after I got fed up with Marvel 3, after I freaking just was over encumbered with Marvel 3, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and play Guilty Gear and see what changed, if anything, in my playstyle and all that. And the weirdest part of going back to Guilty Gear after playing Marvel 3 for a whole week was, holy shit, Guilty Gear has a neutral game.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Marvel 3's neutral game is you both take a move, one of you immediately wins, picks up a full combo, and kills that character.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear's neutral is you both throw out a move, but it might be a tie or you might both whiff.
Yeah,
It's not a guaranteed win.
Yeah, Guilty Gear actually has a neutral game. Like in Guilty Gear, you can actually play neutral and then transition to freaking the stupid-ass combo shit. In Marvel 3, no, it's just the combos. There's, I mean, technically there is a neutral game, but it's mostly centered around zoning and teleportation.
Yeah, because Captain America ain't gonna be doing fucking much in the neutral.
Actually, funny you say it, because Captain America is one of my stronger neutral characters. KOF dodges.
Okay, I was wrong.
KOF dodges. Captain America is the only one who has them.
Really? The only one?
Yeah, some characters have special mechanics and inputs, like, you know, Wolverine's is it the Juricala that's on a grab input? Like what would usually be a grab input?
I think Drillclaw's on 2 hits.
No, it's on. I think if it's the right move I'm thinking of, then it's on 1 hit and special.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But it's any of the hits with the uppercut.
Yeah. So that Captain America on, I think it might be the same input, but I'm not sure. But he has a KOF dodge, so I abused that for a while before I got bored of Captain America. And
Dante, I think, has something close to it. His his weird little manual jump move. That is more than likely invincible because in the Devil May Cry games themselves, jumping is invincible.
It's possible. I mean, I couldn't figure out Dante, because like there's playing Lei Wulong, and then there's playing Lei Wulong while also playing Yoshimitsu, and also you have 3 buttons.
Yes, that is. Dante has the biggest fucking moveset I have ever seen on a 2D fighting game character.
Freaking the Devil May Cry characters overall got favored in this game, in my opinion. Honestly, like they had more shit to pull from, obviously, but still.
Well, Virgil's mad fucking OP in this game, so there's that famous story of a guy saying he was never going to a fighting game tournament again because he went to a Marvel 3 tournament. And a guy just hit Virgil sword loops on him while he was yelling, "Get motivated, white boy! Get motivated!" Shit.
Like I think a good description of Marvel, or a good thing of showing how it's a bit broken at least, is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Justin Wong usually plays like what most people would consider lame, zoning out and shit like that. Right?
That's just Marvel.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. He played Rushdown. Justin Wong played Rushdown at Evo, the Evo that I watched. He was the only one. And that is uncharacteristic. But when Justin Wong is playing Rushdown, something's bad, probably.
Yeah. I mean, look at Marvel 2. Who are all the top tier characters? Cable, Sentinel, Storm, Magneto. Those are all zoners. And Marvel 3 at least was able to make it better because Virgil sure as fuck ain't a zoner.
He can be. He can be.
Hey, he's not got many creative possibilities with it, though.
Yeah, no. He can't mix it up as much as people who can fly.
No. Wesker was mad OP in Marvel 3 Vanilla, though they nerfed him quite a bit in Ultimate. And Wesker is a very aggressive character.
Honestly, I think putting the freaking the gun on just heavy was a bit too much.
Well, the thing is that he can do that, but he can't repeat it, because if he presses the same button again, he teleports.
True.
Which I think was one of the nerfs, actually, because I think in the original Marvel 3, he could just do the gun.
Oh. Nice. Nice, Capcom.
Marvel 3's got a lot of delightful little attentions to detail, though, if you ask me. Because one of my favorite ones is, Wesker's got the super where he takes off his glasses and he goes nuts, right?
Yeah, the maximum Wesker.
Right, and he keeps his sunglasses off.
Yeah, and then he doesn't have them on in the wind animation. Yeah, I've noticed.
Right, but the key thing is he does more damage when his sunglasses are off. Just period. And his taunt, if you taunt while he has his sunglasses off, he puts them back on.
Yeah, also if he dies during the battle or something like that, I don't remember exactly because I didn't get the animation this time, but when I last played Marvel 3 extensively, I noticed that if Wesker died or something, then his sunglasses would be broken in the animation.
Oh, that makes sense. I think his sunglasses get broken if he eats a super at all. Because I do remember seeing that if he breaks his sunglasses and you taunt, then he'll replace those sunglasses with a second pair of sunglasses.
Ah, I see.
I don't know why, but I just enjoy the idea of Wesker having an infinite supply of sunglasses in his jacket.
Yeah. Wesker is actually wearing the shopkeep from Resident Evil 4 on himself at all times, and he just has an infinite stock of sunglasses.
There is definitely fan art that I have seen of Leon running around with the merchant strapped to his back. Speaking of, okay, who would be your pick to remove from the game's roster? At first, my brain was but then, oh no, there's so many better choices.
Yeah, character-wise, probably Felicia.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like nearly naked Catgirl, no.
I'm fine with her as the one type of monster in Darkstalkers that isn't, innately predator on humans.
And let's see, mechanics-wise, who I would remove. Arthur.
Arthur, that's understandable.
Because I feel like Arthur doesn't bring too much to the table. He's just zoning the character, and we need more of that. Definitely.
I for my part appreciate that Arthur's a different kind of zoner who has like 4 or 5 silly different kinds of projectiles, and he can do them while jumping as well.
I mean,
Can you do it while super jumping? It never actually occurred to me to try that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, I appreciate that he has multiple projectiles. I just wished he had them with an actual freaking kit as well.
What do you mean? That is the kit.
Yeah, that's my point.
Every fighting game's got pure zoners.
I just don't like characters that are built for one playstyle and that playstyle only. Like, I'm fine if one character favors a playstyle, but they can do other playstyles like, worse than the Shodos say. Because I guess Shodos would be the baseline.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with it if a character is built for zoning and can also do like freaking neutral trades and shit like that, but you don't really want to do that because they're built for zoning. That's a different thing. He legitimately can't do shit aside from zoning.
Well, I should note, Marvel vs. Capcom characters often individually have gimped kits because they're built to be worked into a team. So Arthur lacking close range tools is probably because you're supposed to call in like Dante or Wolverine for a close range assist.
Maybe, I don't know. I tried to go with like somewhat canon or close to it teams, so I just teamed him up with Firebrand.
I just picked my favorite characters for teams.
First,
which, by the way, I should know. I only got to play the game for 1 day before my Xbox controller decided to stop working. So,
yes, the XCOM controller. The aliens are now invading. You have failed us.
Oh no! Don't tell me the fucking Septoid. No, what's the damn little purple spider things that face fuck you into being a zombie or something? You didn't play XCOM, did you?
No.
Well, I hate those things. Fuck them. Anyways, my Xbox controller stopped working on me after the first day, so I got in 1 day of playing with the team of Frank West, Dr. Doom, and Dante, and that was it.
Yeah, I played through with all of the characters.
Ugh.
And then there
are a lot of characters on that roster who I would not want to play through.
But here's the thing: I played through with all of the characters, and then I also spent I played through with all of the characters in 2 days, and then I spent the rest of the week trying to do combos, and it made me go insane. Labbing.
Marvel 3 is like, there's the obvious big combo, which is just Gatling, uppercut, air Gatling, super finish, right?
Oh, I actually figured...
Half the fucking cast can't even do that because they don't have air supers, but,
Yeah. I figured out I figured out a couple of good combos with a specific team where they can either nearly kill Thor in one combo or definitely kill Thor in one combo.
For my part, when I was going into the training mode that shows you how to do big combos, when I got to the combos that are above just doing your Yatlings and throwing in the occasional special move, I was like, fuck that, I'm not doing that.
I tried those, and then I was like, well, this notation is not really intuitive, it's confusing me, so I'm just gonna try to figure it out on my own, and then I did.
I hate that it's a scrolling list, but you can't control when it scrolls.
Yeah, and
you don't find out the moves at the end of the combo until you get to the end of the combo.
Yeah, also, no actual notations unless you go into the options menu.
Yep. And another thing we got to keep in mind is that Capcom did not design that to help you learn how to do combos in Marvel 3. They designed that to challenge the people who are the best at combos at doing advanced combos.
Yeah.
Because Capcom has always been the worst about getting new people in. The number one gatekeeper into fighting games is Capcom.
Yeah.
Like, Arxis is trying to get more people in. NetherRealm's trying to get more people in. The fighting game community itself is trying to get more people in. Capcom just doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, Capcom gets its money anyway, so why should it care?
You could get more money! Oh, but this Marvel 3, I think we can both agree, Marvel 3 is the game that's largely responsible for the misconception that you have to be able to do big combo to play fighting games.
I don't know, because I don't hear about that misconception too much over here.
It was big over here 10 years ago. It's kind of died out in the same way that people used to make fun of spamming has died out over here, because at this point it's just kind of accepted like, oh, if you keep falling for the same move, that's your fault. But 10 years ago, anyone trying to get into fighting games is like, well, I want to learn big combo, but I suck too much to do big combo. And the problem is that big combo is something that you learn a lot later after you get used to how the game feels. But also, just most games, big combo is not that important. Not until you're getting to, the top tier level.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it seems like today's equivalent to that is everyone jerking off to neutral. Which to me, neutral game in a fighting game is like freaking steak. Like it can be really good, well made without seasoning, but sometimes you need seasoning, and we don't have the seasoning right now. Like I'm fine with freaking fighting games not wanting to do big combos and shit, because sometimes you need that. Sometimes you don't want to freaking play Marvel 3. Sometimes you want to play Street Fighter 2. But sometimes you do want to play Marvel 3, and there's no modern equivalent coming out, really. I mean, there's Power Rangers, but that's really just Marvel 3, and I don't like Marvel 3.
The thing you gotta keep in mind is that neutral game kind of got put on defense for a lot of people, because for those people, that game was Street Fighter 4. And then Street Fighter 5 came out, and the neutral was crazy gimped to try and encourage aggressive rushdown play. Which it really didn't.
Yeah, it encouraged aggressive grab down.
Well, that was just because the game had shitty netcode.
It was netcode, I know. But still.
Shitty netcode encourages an entirely different style of gameplay.
Yeah. Oh, I hope that freaking people realize that it's mixed netcode that we want, and then devs actually deliver on it.
Apparently, Westerners already knew it.
I mean, yeah, but not with the right words. And
also, it's just the problem of like the West doesn't develop as many fighting games as the East does.
Yeah, and
like we got KI, we got Mortal Kombat, we got Skullgirls, but none of that's only 3 fighting game franchises, and none of them are in your wheelhouse.
Yeah,
there's Injustice, but who gives a fuck about Injustice?
Nobody. Maybe
once Injustice 3 comes out, I'm sure I'll be mad hyped about it again. And
yeah, you'll be mad hyped about. You'll be mad hyped about Injustice 3, and I'll be like, nah, man, that shit's from NetherRealm. It won't feel good. And then you will play the game, and you'll say, well, it has these good parts, but it doesn't really feel good. Which is
MK.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 9 did feel good. I don't know what happened.
MK9, and then everything after that didn't. So
Injustice 1 felt pretty good too, though you could start to see the decline. I mean, the thing everyone goes back to is simply the fact that the animations for the characters are designed to look good in 3D rather than 2D.
I think it's a mix of the animations and just like, I can't put it into words because I'm not a freaking game designer, and neither did I spend like freaking months trying to figure out what the hell my issue with it is. But it's a mix of the animation, the whole startup, which I guess is tied to the animation, but not really. They could just cut it or speed it up, which they do sometimes. And just overall, like the thing with MK is that it feels like you are pressing buttons in a sequence, and an animation is playing out. You're not actually telling your character to do this punch.
So, like the strings.
Yes, I think the strings feel unnatural. Like the once again, you don't feel like you're actually telling the character to do the actual string. You're telling it to play that animation for the string. And then it does it. Like I just feel like there's too much delay between when the animation happens and when you press the button. Because I've done strings in MKX where I quickly pressed the buttons in and then the actual combo played out. Like there was still some timing involved, but not as much as you would expect from a 2D fighting game.
Yeah, well, I mean, the default settings in the Mortal Kombat game, the new NetherRealm games, have serious problems with negative edge and how lenient the inputs are.
Yeah.
I remember in MK11, I had to go into the settings and immediately fucking lower that input leniency real bad because I just kept doing I'd hit X, Y, Y, right?
Yeah.
And then I would hit quarter circle forward, B. However, input leniency would cause it to read that as X, Y, quarter circle, Y. And then Sub-Zero just does a randomized ball.
Nice.
But I appreciate that they let you turn it up or down. That's nice.
Yeah, that I can see working out. So, like, they have some good ideas, they just need to actually work on them.
Being able to turn negative edge on and off, that's a vital part for fighting games. Input leniency, being able to turn it up or down. Well, what's some other good ones that you should definitely have in this options menu? Well, obviously input mapping. If you don't have input mapping, what the fuck are you doing?
Input mapping should be on the character select screen.
Yeah, that is... I've not ever had to use it, but for fighting game pros, I have to imagine that having a button check on the character select screen is a godsend.
Yeah. I'd say Tekken's assist system could be a good thing for any fighting game, really, because it's like stylish mode. It's like stylish mode. Only you actually can play the character normally and are not gimped by it. And if you want to do the big combo, then you press the buttons and the big combo does itself.
Okay, so there's just a big combo button.
Yeah, because Tekken's assist system is that you can do moves normally, or if you don't feel like doing the input, or if you can't do the input, then they have 4 hard to input moves on quick dial, and if you press LB plus one of the face buttons, then it does that move for you.
The trouble with that is that with Tekken, I wind up using the entire controller on macro inputs. Because I cannot be bothered for the fucking press A and Y at the same time buttons.
Yeah, I don't use macros if the game doesn't read it, then that's the game's fault. If I input it bad, it's my fault. Either way, I eat the freaking punch anyway, so who gives a shit? Because Tekken actually is very freaking harsh about its grab input windows.
Yeah, it's very, very harsh. I've played a lot of King. That's also why I had set up macros for all the different buttons, because I got sick of botching the moonsault with King.
Yeah, dude, I sometimes I play with macros and the macros miss sometimes. The macros miss.
Oh, I've not had that happen.
I have. It's fun.
Why the fuck would that happen?
I don't know. Like the macros got read as if they were inputted like 1 frame apart, and so both of the punches played out.
That's stupid.
Or stuff like that. It was great, but yes, that's basically why I don't use macros, because I can fail on my own too. I don't need computer assistance for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marvel 3.
Yeah, I wish that there were macros for this game. No, I actually don't.
This game's actually got there already are macros in this game. In fact, stylish mode is the only way to play.
Ha! I would say this game's got too few buttons, not too many.
Yeah. I wish it was like at least a 4-button fighter, because like
Infinite.
Like Infinite, or 2, or the first one from what I remember. I actually don't remember if it was a 2 or 6-button, but whatever.
I feel like 2 was a 6-button. The fact that in the combo thing, the guy says, light punch, heavy punch, light kick, medium kick. Going from light to medium to heavy, that implies 6 button inputs.
It implies 6 button inputs, but there's also the fake 6 button inputs, like with Semshow 5, where heavy is on mid and light together.
That is true. But I can't see Capcom doing that.
Who knows? Things are too inconsistent for me to actually know what the hell's going on with any fighting game at any time. I just try to learn them, their controls for what they are, and move on with that.
I hate when the fighting game can't stick to one consistent control scheme over the whole series, you know?
Yeah, it can be a pain in the ass.
And sometimes it's just inevitably part of tech moving forward. Like, I can't see Mortal Kombat having stuck with the low punch, high punch scheme, but still.
Yeah. Imagine if we had to play freaking Street Fighter 5 with pressure sensitive buttons.
Oh god, that'd be terrible. Having to fucking punch your fight pad.
Yeah, like you buy a fight stick and it's genuinely just like this one stick and 2 very large buttons and you just hit them with all of your might.
Oh, that would be so bad. Matt, you know what just occurred to me?
Yeah.
How the fuck on those machines did anyone do Hadokens, Shoryukens, or Tatsumakis?
So here's the thing. I actually tried to record Street Fighter 1 once. And I kind of figured out how to do the inputs. So here's the thing: the game doesn't accept clean inputs from what I can tell, like at all. You need to mesh that shit out. So if you're just roughly freaking trying to tear the stick out from the machine in a Hadouken motion, and also beating the shit out of any of the punch buttons available, then you might do a Hadouken or a Shoryuken.
Well, I feel like I remember just hearing that the timing window on it is just absolutely absurd. Like, there is a split second at the exact moment that your analog stick hits the right direction. I mean, you gotta go.
It might be 1 frame links with freaking inputs. I don't freaking know. It could be. I'm not advanced enough to actually know the freaking shit behind it. But the only way I could consistently get supers or specials rather out in that game was to mesh that shit out. Because otherwise, you weren't getting any moves.
Yeah, I mean, unless the person's specifically sitting down and just trying the Hadouken over and over and over again until they get absolutely perfect timing, the only way it's ever happening is mashing the buttons out. It feels like at that time, Hadoukens were not supposed to be a feature. They were a secret there for people who found it.
Yeah, I mean, with the moon jumps and the freaking... whatever the hell the neutral is in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the specials were supposed to be secrets, but they're also like the only thing you can do to make it so the AI doesn't freaking kill you immediately.
Oh yeah. Because the Shotos have always kind of had stubby buttons, but they got real fucking stubby buttons in that game.
Yeah. They have no limbs. They are flying torsos.
Oh yeah. And their hurt boxes are even smaller than that.
Yeah. But so, Marvel 3, once again, we keep veering off of it because...
At least we're talking about someone who's still on the Marvel roster.
True. Speaking of, Ryu's freaking air Tatsu is weird, but weird in a good way. I like it.
Ryu is actually a lot of fun in that game. I forgot.
Yeah,
For some reason in my brain, I just remember him being the same way he was in Street Fighter 4, and I was like, oh, that's mega lame.
Yeah, Ryu is actually in my current team right now.
Yeah.
Ryu is the freaking the starter for the combo I do where I kill Thor immediately.
Nice.
It's actually a pretty like, at least for me, it's a pretty advanced combo, at least in my opinion, because it involves like 3 different freaking Getlings, the Donkey Kick, X Factor, and also like 4 different air supers at the same time.
Okay. You're not gonna be able to do that combo more than once.
Yeah. I mean, it legitimately, like, the combo that I've figured out does take everything. So it does take five bars of freaking supers and an X Factor and shit like that. But if you can get it out, it's pretty alright. It works off of the air change mechanic and how you can change characters out with the supers. So Ryu can do a super 3 times. Why not?
Oh, I got a question. I was never able to figure out how do you snap back teammate enemy teams mates.
Hadouken launcher,
Okay.
and that's just it. I actually had to look
Okay.
that up as well because I was like, well, Galactus keeps doing it to me and it's annoying, so maybe I could use it during practice.
Okay, I hate to bring in a totally off topic thing, but I just loaded up Steam and saw the ad for the fact that they had Cthulhu to Smite, right?
Yeah,
And next to it was an ad for Presidential Punisher Giannis, which turns Giannis into Abraham Lincoln, right?
yeah.
But when I first saw that name, I did not see Presidential Punisher Giannis. I can't explain why my brain did this, but it saw Freedom Potential Jesus.
What? That's one of that's
It's
one
a
of
stand in JoJo, right?
well, no, yes, but no, not really. Jesus is a different name as a stand, but also, like, I feel like that would be freaking, like, that's one of Jesus's variants in Injustice 3.
Oh
Uh,
man, do you think we could get away with doing an episode on JoJo by Capcom if we just fucking download the roster for Mugen?
I mean, we could do that. I only have some of them. Oh, but the thing is, I actually don't think that the place we get the Mugen characters from has all of the roster. Now that I think about it, it
I do
just
remember thinking it was real weird that they were missing some characters, but they had like 4 or 5 Dios.
yeah. There's 15 Dios, 20 Jotaros, 40 Kakyoins. I don't
Nice.
understand.
Well, Kakyoin is Revenge Man, right? Or is that Polnareff?
That's Polnareff.
Okay, Kakyoin was the ladies' man?
Yeah, I guess. But that was still Polnareff, the ladies, man. All Kakyoin did was say that he found Jotaro's mom's personality charming or whatever, and now he's a MILF hunter.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, of course. That
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Kakyoin, in my opinion, was like the really reliable friend in that show.
Ah, okay.
He also did weird things to cherries, but that was technically not him, so
Oh, he was the one with the tongue gif, right?
yeah.
So, going back to Marvel 3 for a little bit,
Yeah.
who are respectively our mains? Who's your main team? Your primary team of 3?
Well, my primary main team of 3 always changes, but right now it's Akuma, Ryu, and Deadpool.
All right. That is a very rushdowny team.
I mean, literally, I spent like a whole day trying to find someone to replace Deadpool because I'm so sick of him, and there's no one that has the same, like. Legitimately, the only reason I keep Deadpool around is because his air combo makes it so people slow down, but they don't get juggled up when they're hit by it. They just kind of slide down really slowly. So that
Okay.
makes it really a very good combo tool, in my opinion. Very easy to combo Shoryuken into a super Shoryuken.
All right.
And so basically, that's the only reason I keep him around, because otherwise I don't even want to use him. Even if he does have Mistfinders.
Yeah.
And
The
who's your mains?
Oh, right. That is a good question. For my part, I kind of stuck with characters that I just really like in the lore, honestly. So Doom, Frank West, and Dante. And I do love Doom's playstyle, genuinely. Frank and Dante, I don't love their playstyle. I just tried to force myself to learn it. So you've played Frank, right?
I've played all of those three.
Frank is the weirdest character in the game, isn't he?
No, the weirdest character in the game is freaking Phoenix Wright.
Oh, right, yeah, Phoenix.
Phoenix,
I'd love to play Phoenix. He seems like a lot of fun.
I actually somewhat figured out how he works. Not too much, but I have a general idea.
Yeah, he has 3 stages. You have to collect evidence, then you get
It's not stages. It's not stages. He has 3 stances where you can switch between 2, and then the third one is unlocked through a freaking jump in.
Yes. Well, you can unlock it just by getting 3 pieces of evidence and then moving forward to it. They have to be good pieces of evidence, though, and the fake ones, like the little dolly, aren't going to work.
Yeah, no. At least from what I could gather, you actually can switch normally, like how you switch between the stances like that. The only way I figured it out was through the freaking jump in. Because the jumping heavy triggers it.
It does?
Yes. If you have 3 good pieces of evidence, then you can do a jumping heavy, and that triggers the mode. But I have not been able to figure out how the hell you're supposed to go into it otherwise, because just switching between the stances normally doesn't work. It just switches between the other 2.
Okay, well, what you're ordinarily supposed to do, I think, is you get all the evidence in one stance, then you get into the next stance, the accusing stance, and from that you can do the what's Phoenix's signature line where he shouts it?
Objection.
Objection. You do the objection, and if that connects, it transitions you into the third
wait,
stage.
is it off of taunt? Because I think objection is his taunt.
No, it isn't.
Okay, then I'm wrong.
It's like a Shoryu input, maybe? I don't remember.
That might
It's not Haddo, because Haddo is him throwing the papers.
Yeah.
It's a pity they didn't bring him back for Infinite. That is definitely one of the most interesting fighting game character designs ever.
Yeah. There's also some...
I appreciate...
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
There's also some other weird ones, like mechanically, like Rocket, who is built around freaking air movement and basically nothing else, but traps and air movement. That's all I've been able to figure out.
Which those two are not two you would expect to go together.
Yeah.
I mean, he has teleports and projectiles as well.
Does he have teleports? Because
yeah.
I know that he can go under the ground, but I haven't been able to figure out if he's supposed to be able to teleport through that or something.
Yeah, if you it depends. Like if you press like one button, he teleports in place, and another one he teleports behind the opponent, and another one he teleports away.
All right.
So I think it's a difference of light, heavy, medium.
Yeah, probably. That's what it usually is.
But who was I going to say? Right, I put in time with Dante, and yeah, Dante's rough to learn. Dante's the kind of character you just figure out which moves you like out of his, and you just stick to him.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to see much use of the certain moves in Dante's moveset. And Frank is a character that if you can do big combo, then you'll be able to annihilate with Frank, right?
Yeah.
Because you've seen the benefits he gets at the higher levels.
I've actually not seen too much Frank footage. I have seen a surprisingly large amount of Hagar though.
Huh? Yeah, Hagar's a weirdly common pick for some reason. I was surprised by that.
Because the Soviet Cyclone is a very good juggle move, among other things.
That explains it. So Frank has when he gets to level 4 or level 5, his heavy becomes he just pulls out the paddle saw from Dead Rising 2. It's just a chainsaw on a stick. And that's both his standing heavy and his jumping heavy.
Ah.
It has all the range in the world. It hits 10 times, does loads of damage. His medium gets replaced with just a regular chainsaw swing, which also does absurd amounts of damage. I want to say that his projectile toss goes from being a glass of orange juice or something into, I forget what it becomes. Like, all of his moves become crazy OP with massive range, massive damage, really good frame data. Hence why Frank sucks when he's at levels 1 and 2.
I see.
You kind of build him up as the character you keep out of the fight and just call him in to take pictures every now and then until he gets to level 4, at which case everybody gets fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, he also has a KOF dodge. Did you not find that?
No.
At level 2, he gets a KOF dodge that's identical to Captain America's.
Oh, alright.
He is not a very zone... Well, he's a very zony character at low levels because he, from the very beginning, has access to his moves where he throws zombies at you. Which I'm sure you're used to that move, aren't you?
I actually didn't see too much of Frank overall.
Huh.
Usually yeah?
Whenever I play against AI Frank, he's a real dickhead.
I don't know. Whenever I played against AI Frank, he died immediately.
That's fair. He sucks at level 1.
Yeah, the people who gave me a lot of trouble are, well, the freaking the Galactus AI. The things that Galactus summons in. Those always beat my ass. Very bad. That's actually... yeah.
I was going to ask, that's Doom, Wesker, MODOK, and Virgil that you can call in, right?
No.
The villains?
Actually, no. The ones you can call in are Wesker, Akuma, Dormammu, and I forget the fourth one.
He can definitely call in Doom.
Yeah, Doom's the fourth one, yeah.
Huh, I completely forgot that he could call in Doom and Dormammu and Akuma. I wouldn't even really consider Akuma a villain, but I guess Capcom does.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, Dormammu and anyone is a really freaking good fight, because if Dormammu touches the ground, there is no...
I do remember
there is
that.
nothing.
Fuck.
There is nothing. Right. Everything is lasers. The power of the lasers compels you.
Because Dormammu is the fucking zoning god, right? Power of the power of the power of the power.
The best part of that is that when Wesker was teamed with Dormammu, the AI would usually do shit like, oh, alright, I'm just gonna cross you up from both sides. Also, Dormammu is summoning lasers. Also, Wesker is teleporting and shooting you from all sides. Have fun.
Yeah, and Wesker's a pretty brutal rushdown character, so good luck.
Yeah. And that's not even talking about freaking Galactus' lasers. Oh, man. The lasers are not really threatening after a while, after you learn how to freaking do the super block. I forget the name already. Advancing guard, that's the one.
Ooh, I never figured that one out, so Galactus always beat me with just 2 moves.
Advancing guard is... yeah.
Anytime I was able to beat Galactus, it was because I just was able to get around the lasers in just the right way.
Yeah, Advancing guard is a mechanic where it seems really complex when you look at it without knowing it, and then you figure out how to do it, and you realize, oh shit, this is too freaking easy for you to think of it.
Is there no reason to not use Advancing Guard?
Yes, the only reason you don't use Advancing Guard is either because A, you want to, keep people close to retaliate, or B, because you don't have the freaking reflexes of the AI and just can't do it in 1 frame.
Right, the AI is very good at it.
But yeah, Advancing Guard is just doing a normal block, and then during the block animation, pressing 2 hit buttons.
Okay, that makes sense.
Advancing Guard is like some of my issues with Marvel 3 is that I feel like it had the defensive mechanics it has are way too freaking powerful, but that it doesn't have enough of them. So like, Advancing Guard seems a bit too OP for its own good, but then I want a burst mechanic because bloody hell, getting locked into a combo is not good.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people would hate a burst mechanic in Marvel because Marvel operates on the premise of you fuck up, character dies. Which I know that may not be for you, and I absolutely get that, and I agree with that. But Marvel has a long established tradition by now.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I
just
think
saying
that
that if
tradition would be very
yeah,
hard to shake.
I mean the freaking traditions are being shaken throughout the freaking FG or the well, just fighting games as a whole because who needs Guilty Gear when you can take out most of the mechanics and just then put some of them back in.
I don't know. Strive keeps changing, man.
Yeah, I'll be interested in seeing where Strive goes, but then with the freaking with how Daisuke responded, I'm torn because I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because I enjoyed playing Strive, but I enjoyed playing Strive despite it being really freaking faulty, I guess.
What did Daisuke say?
Well, they released this whole big blog post where Daisuke went over the major things that people didn't like about the beta, and he was like, "Well, yeah, but we're trying to do some new things."
I mean, Daisuke wants to stick to his creative vision.
But I mean that's fine. But with some of the things, it's like he even contradicted himself in the same blog post because it was like we're trying to move away from I forget what it was like, but it was something more advanced mechanics that they removed. It's like we're trying to move away from those things to make the game more accessible to casuals. Also, Getlings are not in because we don't want casuals to find it that easy. Like if it was just we're trying to make the skill floor be lower, that's fine. But he's moving the skill ceiling and he's just saying trust me. I think that's the big thing that people are having a fuss about. Also the damage. He it was just like, yeah, the damage is a bit too much, but I don't like combos. And that's basically most of the freaking thing that he brought up against or for the damage, I guess.
Did he say I don't like combos?
Well, not in the blog post, but he did say that he doesn't like touch of deaths, which is understandable. Like, my big issue with Marvel 3 is touch of deaths, but there's a middle ground between touch of death and also touch of death, but now with 3 hits instead of 15. Because May during the beta, on the first day of the freaking online beta, or I'm not even sure if it was the online beta, it might have been the offline beta, someone uploaded a video of May having a touch of death on the first day of the beta, that it was available to everyone. So, like, it's fine if he wants to make it a bit more accessible and all that, but then do it in a smart way, because it's like, I just don't see this working out well. But yeah, and as for Marvel 3, like, once again, like, I get that some people wouldn't like it because of legacy. But as a person who has been told to suck it up and move on with my legacy shit, if they were brought back Marvel and wanted to make it more accessible, they could introduce a burst mechanic, or just tie it to like freaking something like X Factor. Honestly, because if X Factor was a once per match burst or roaming cancel, I feel like that would work well with Marvel without it being too different.
Probably work. I would just be inclined to say, though, that if they brought back Marvel after everything that happened with Infinite, they'd probably try to make it appeal to old fans rather than scare them off,
It's current Capcom. Or it actually is current fighting games. Who the hell knows? But yeah, I mean, that's what we'd hope. That they would try to appeal to the old guard first. Because you need to have a base, a user base to build the new people on. first. But sometimes
Yep.
people don't think like that.
No. Anyways, to get back to Marvel.
Yeah.
I had something and then I lost it. What would you say? Well, I'm going to assume that in terms of gameplay, the thing you'd say the game needs the most is burst.
Yeah.
Outside of like the actual fighting, the matches, what would you say the game needs most? Just in terms of like settings or like gameplay modes, new roster additions.
Okay. Once you said new roster additions, something immediately popped up. And you probably already know the answer then.
Are you just going to say
Not a must have, yeah. Definitely.
okay?
I just want my guy in the game. I just want him to be represented outside of freaking Japan.
Well, there's a key part of that phrase there, Japan. But you don't think like it'd be more of a necessity to add a certain setting or a certain like single player mode?
I don't know, because a ghost battle mode could be good, but then also arcade mode, like arcade mode is already sometimes freaking very salt inducing, and an infinite version of that could be detrimental overall.
That and the
Yeah.
question would be like, what would you even unlock in Ghost Battle?
Yeah. And actually, now that I think about it, there actually is a ghost battle mode. Heroes and Heralds is technically a ghost battle variant, I guess.
Oh right, I definitely never touched that shit.
I did. I gave it a chance because it's there. I might as well. And yeah.
Right, but doesn't it force you to have one of the teams be silver?
Well, if you play, but yeah, if you play Heralds, or the Herald side is always silver because they're Galactus's minions.
That's stupid.
Yeah. But so like for modes, I don't know. I think it's mostly fine. And options wise, I actually think the game did really good, because there you can adjust not just the time, not just the difficulty of the AI, but also things like the damage that the moves do. And it's still, or at least I've got to assume that they still somewhat balanced it, if since it's preset values, but you know.
Single player mode in Capcom games, I don't think they'd bother to balance it.
Who knows? It's in multiplayer too. That's why I don't know.
Oh, why is it in multiplayer?
It's a local multiplayer, so I don't know about online, but it is in freaking local.
Local multiplayer, I don't think they would bother to balance either.
Who knows?
I mean,
yeah,
they had goofy shit like the custom isms in the alpha console ports, I think. And there's no way you could balance that, because like the custom isms in CVS 2 were stupid for the shit you could throw in them.
I see. I don't know. I just know that they actually have damage options for lower, like two steps lower and 2 steps higher damage in the game, which I appreciated, because sometimes it did feel like the damage was too much, but then the game started freaking going to timer scam territory, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll play with normal damage then.
Oh, could you not set the timer to infinite?
I could, but I didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
I do have to say that actually setting the damage down did introduce some more neutral game, though.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Like it still wasn't, super turbo, but it was more.
Yeah.
And what thing would you add then?
Well, I would add a tutorial.
Yeah. I don't like the thing. The thing with tutorials,
I looked at the game and I was like, "Hey, wait a second. Where's the fucking tutorial?" Oh, right. This is Capcom pre 2015.
Yeah, the thing with tutorials is that like fighting game devs can make the best tutorials in the world, and people will still not play them unless it's forced.
Yes, that's definitely a problem, that people are just too stubborn and like, I don't need to learn anything. I learn by doing.
Yeah, I don't need to learn how to play this game. Fighting games are just mashing buttons anyway.
At least that sentiment's kind of dying out. Like, the existence of the pro scene is kind of killing off the idea that it's just mashing, you know?
I don't know. I actually see that more than I see Big Combo.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Alright. Like, and when I ask for a tutorial, I at the same time have to keep in mind Capcom, because the Street Fighter V tutorial is absolute dog shit.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind Capcom. So when you say Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tutorial, what you actually mean is embedded Marvel vs. 3 videos of how to walk.
Yes. This is a light. This is a medium. This is a heavy. This is a Hadoken.
You don't get to try any of these.
Everything you will ever need right here.
You don't get to try any of these. Here's the basics in text. You figure the rest out.
And the majority of the tutorial budget will go into having the characters talk in character dialogue, so that it'll be Ryu and Ken who are like, "Oh, hey, Ryu, you're my best friend ever. Let's fight."
Yeah. That's you. That's that's my favorite part of that dialogue. when Ryu sneezes back and a Hadouken comes out and Ken dies.
He shoots Hadoukens out of his nose.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't even kill him. It doesn't even do any damage. He just fires 2 small Hadoukens out of his nose.
He fires 2 freaking Zanku Hadoukens.
It just planks a little sliver off Ken's health.
Yeah, the Zanku Hadoukens are the ones Akuma does, right? I forget the actual.
I don't remember.
I guess I'm looking this up because it will bother me otherwise. Like, I say this, I actually don't freaking give a shit about what moves are called. Because I will not remember most of them anyway, I just remember some key ones.
Okay, imagine if they took, on Street Fighter V, Birdie's idle animation, he'll sit and pick his nose and eventually fling it at the opponent, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if the booger was a little mini Hadouken. And you can even hear in the distance, like a tiny Ryu going, Hadouken! Like there's just a tiny Ryu in Birdie's nose.
It is actually the Zanku Hadouken. How was I right? How did I remember it?
Oh, you know what just occurred to me? I got a question to ask you.
Yeah?
So you main Deadpool in this game, right?
I don't do taunt combos because taunt is on...
Taunt combos!
I don't do taunt combos because taunt is on the touchpad. And I don't have a touchpad on my stick.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. That is a pity, though, because there are apparently some big taunt combos with Deadpool.
Yeah, I wanted to try them out, but I'm too used to playing on the stick. And once again, it doesn't have a touchpad, so I'm basically shit out of luck on that.
Marvel 3 is way better to play on stick anyways, so...
I don't know, dude. It's a square gate, so...
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. Depends on the day and how you are, yeah?
Yeah. So I know I can often be the guy who's like, oh, third strike, bring back the third strike things. But like, man, I wish they'd bring back taunts that were meaningful.
I mean, I just wish they would bring back taunts, period.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, they're not in Street Fighter 5, son of a bitch.
They're not in Street Fighter 5, they're not in Mortal Kombat. Then again, they never really were in Mortal Kombat. I'm not sure.
Unless you're playing as Havoc. Havoc had taunt.
Yeah, he did. And Shao Kahn.
And Shao Kahn.
But he does have them. But yeah. So that KOF, I actually don't remember if KOF 14 has taunts or not.
I think it does.
I think so too, but who knows?
Every game, Terry's got to have his little hunch over. Come on.
Yeah, true. So that, what else is there? Tekken never really had taunts. Huh.
Unless you're playing a Yoshi.
Yeah, unless you're Yoshi. Then your whole kit is a taunt.
Oh yeah. Like the games,
Yeah.
the games that I think of for taunting are obviously Third Strike, but what was the game that allowed you to taunt in the air outside of just playing Dan?
Taunt in the air.
I may just be getting it mixed up with Devil May Cry 5.
It might be because I don't freaking remember a game that allows you to taunt in the air.
Ah,
Like the one of the last games that I remember still having taunts, aside from KOF, is Guilty Gear Xrd, which has respect and taunts.
oh, there's a difference?
Yeah, there actually is a mechanical difference between the two. So
Huh.
respects, I think those give you. I feel like they give you like attention bar boosts, like you get it at a higher rate, or something like that, or you might deal like slightly larger damage for a limited amount of time. And taunts make it so you get tension bar a lot faster from what I remember, but also if you get hit during it, then all of your tension bar is lost.
Okay, that makes sense. I forgot that respects existed. I just remember good old Soul flipping the opponent off.
Yeah, one of the main reasons that I remember respects exist is because respects were a big part of Guilty Gear 1.
Oh, of course they were. That clusterfuck of balance.
Yeah. Because respects were the way that you charged up moves.
Ah, okay. Huh.
Also,
All right.
and on a similar note, I find it really weird how, despite having freaking 30 bars of super, Marvel 3 doesn't have EX moves.
Because the supers are the EX moves.
I mean, I guess. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish they were two different things, but I guess.
I mean, the line is always weird the way they walk it. Because with Street Fighter V, like, a lot of old supers got turned into EX moves. Like the Shin Shoryuken is just an EX move. And I mean, if you look over at Mortal Kombat, because supers tend to suck in any NRS game that isn't Mortal Kombat 11, for the most part in NetherRealm games, EX moves are your supers.
And then there's some weird stuff that they did, like in freaking Omega mode in Street Fighter 4, where Akuma gets a freaking mini combo Koretsu-san off of the EX Shoryu.
Ha!
Like it's funny because he has that in Street Fighter 4, and then in 5 he actually has just a super version of that same move, more or less.
Ha!
That's his new super, I think, from what I remember. Yeah.
The little power geyser, right?
Yeah.
Ha! All right. How do you feel about Marvel 3's whole aesthetic, just in general?
I mean, I feel like overall it aged a bit. You know, it has been a while since the game came out originally.
I thought it looked kind of ugly at the time.
It could have. I had nothing to compare it to, so the models could have used some work. The cell shading did make it easier on the eyes, but like cell shading can only do so much.
It didn't pay off because when they tried to port the models over directly to Marvel Infinite into a realistic style.
Dante.
Yeah, and without the cell shading, everyone looked hideous.
And
that was a very dumb move.
I imagine they didn't port over Akuma because freaking people lost sleep over his face without cell shading.
Yep.
How do you? Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was going to move on to another topic.
We can move on.
How do you feel about the stage selection?
It all kind of blurs together.
It's pretty poor, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing particularly stands out as interesting or this big thing.
Of course, Ghosts and Goblins got a fucking stage. Of course it did.
Yeah.
Or Ghouls and Goblins, I can't remember.
They're
It
basically
got
the
2,
same
as a matter
game.
of fact. What?
They're basically the same game.
Yeah. So they get 2 stages. They were nice enough to do that. A black and white version, because apparently they released a black and white version of Ghouls and Goblins at some point. Oh, so very kind of them. Every stage in the game has 2 versions, except for the training room, right? The danger room.
I think so, yeah.
Which, by the way, if you play on that stage and you look in the background at Professor X doesn't move at all. He doesn't have any animations.
Why would he move at all? He just does things telepathically.
He just looks on like a huge creeper. It's really fucking creepy.
He's really invested in the fight. He forgot to breathe and help.
Yeah. If the fight goes on too long, Professor X gets brain damage from forgetting to breathe that long.
Yeah.
Like the Shield Helicarrier stage, that's fine. The Umbrella Lab stage, that's fine. There's the New York stages; those are good. The one with the Spider-Man float in the background, that one's cool.
I like how Spider-Man has a specific wing quote on that one freaking stage, I think.
He does?
Yeah, he has a wing quote against some. I don't know if it's a character specific wing quote or if it's a level specific, but he's like, "Have you seen that float they have of me over in New York? Yeah, it creeps me out. It's really weird."
That might not be stage specific because he says over in New York, which sounds really weird to say if he's in New York.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the exact quote. I think it's something like that. So it could not be. It could be not stage specific, but I don't freaking know. Freaking quotes, ring quotes are really weird in this game because sometimes you have character specific start quotes, and then just generic ring quotes.
Yes. Okay, I do want to mention that for their whole thing of having 2 versions of every stage, right? One slightly different version. One case where they used it to really good effect is the street stage that is simultaneously one version is the Final Fight version, and it represents Final Fight for Hagar. You've got the Mad Gear gang running all over the place, ransacking the cops.
Yeah.
And the alternate version is instead Days of Futures Past for the X-Men. I really dug that they did that.
I like the Days of the Futures Past level just because it confirms that everyone's dead. Amingo has been murdered in cold blood.
Mega Man is fucking dead. Oh my god.
I also like how freaking like all over the place it is. Like Mega Man dead, Amingo dead, Cable dead, Hayato just in jail, you know.
Yeah.
Psylocke also in jail, I think, despite being a mutant.
Well, it's everyone who is missing from the roster from Marvel 2 to Marvel 3, right, is on that paper.
Yeah.
Which that probably would have been big spoilers for anyone who played the game at launch. Like, oh hey, Shumagorath's not there. Guess he's in.
Yeah. Shumagorath has funny interactions because the devs actually acknowledged
He's only there because Japan loves him.
Well, yes and no, because they did acknowledge that Japan loves him and all that, but I think it's Felicia, or I don't remember who it is, but if Shumagorath beats them or the other way around, I don't remember. They actually acknowledged freaking how Shumagorath is probably only in here because of tentacle porn.
Oh my god. That makes sense, I gotta admit. Just having the gall to actually admit to it.
I think it might be She-Hulk now that I think about it, because she does have some fourth wall breaking quotes.
That and She-Hulk is always sexual, always.
Yeah.
The legend goes that she's fucked every Avenger. All of them.
Especially Rocket.
Rocket's never been an Avenger, so she's not gotten down to bestiality yet.
I'm surprised, honestly. Nearly everyone's been an Avenger in some capacity.
Yep, I hate that everyone's been an Avenger. Everyone's been in the fucking Justice League. Hawkeye's been in both.
Hawkeye, Hawkeye's ending in this game sucks ass. It's just.
Doesn't he open the West Coast Avengers and for some reason Ryu's on it?
Yeah, his thing is, now that I've beaten Galactus, I've got the thing I want. And then it zooms out, and it's the grand reopening of the West Coast Avengers, and also there's Mega Man, or there's Zero and Ryu for some reason.
Well, it's a nice reference for the comic fans because it's kind of a running gag that there's Hawkeye always opens up the West Coast Avengers. They always turn out to be failures. No one gives a shit. But Hawkeye's always opening up new versions of the West Coast Avengers. Also, Capcom just had to go for a bit of like having Ryu and Zero be Avengers,
Yeah. Speaking, Ryu reminded me of, speaking of the small details in freaking Marvel 3, I do like how Akuma doesn't call anyone by name because he's too powerful for that. He's too good.
He's just too much of a dick for it.
Yeah. I love it. And,
doesn't Hulk have the same thing where he won't refer to people by name? He just goes, Fireball Guy, Kung Fu Man, Big Monster.
I didn't notice that, but he might. It would be in character. I do remember that in Infinite he calls you by name, I think.
Now, one of the ones I think is real goofy. I want to say that I heard that Nemesis refers to everyone by the same name of just... unless he's teamed up with Chris or Jill or Wesker, in which case he will call them stars.
You know what? I should have tried that, but I didn't think of it, so I just paired Nemesis with Hawk, and I don't remember.
That team up works too.
Yeah, I don't remember who the third person was, but then I won with Hawk, and Hawk's ending is Chris enlisted Hawk's help to kill Nemesis. And that's a funny thing after they freaking killed Galactus together.
I love a lot of the endings. The idea that Chris is just like, wait, why are we going to the trouble of killing all these BOWs ourselves? We can just send the fucking Hulk to do it.
Yeah, some of them are pretty good. The Taskmaster is pretty funny because he just starts doing ads, and he's like, I killed Galactus. If you want to train with the guy who killed Galactus, come to my dojo and you will learn how to fight like a guy who killed Galactus. And people apparently made fun of him for that because it was shitty. But it zooms out and he has a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Because
that's part of the problem I had with like Sony Spider-Man version of Taskmaster. He was too cool. I like Taskmaster being kind of a jackass,
Yeah, my favorite. I have two very funny things about Taskmaster, and one of them is the freaking Skeletor color palette.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, they changed one thing just so they wouldn't be sued, but yeah, they changed the skull from yellow to black because it would have been too close at that point, really, and. And another thing is, from what I read on the wiki, because I read up a couple of characters' bios and trivia and shit like that. And from what I gathered from the wiki, every character has like a rival in the game where they are supposed to contrast them from the other side, except for two characters. From what I could gather, those two are Akuma and Taskmaster, who are each other's friends, basically.
That figures.
And I just find that really funny. That Akuma with the Taskmaster. Why? It just seems like such a weird team up.
It does. I mean, I can't see Akuma putting up with Taskmaster's attitude.
Yeah, the reasoning that the wiki people thought that it might be the case is because, well, both of them use other people's moves to better or better versions of other people's moves, basically. So they would like to know about each other.
Akuma's not using somebody else's moves. Ryu is using Akuma's moves. Akuma's did them first.
Yeah, Ryu is using Akuma's moves, but is doing them worse in some cases.
Yeah.
And I wish Ryu could do a freaking Hyakugojin. Just doing demon flips with Ryu would be funny. It will never happen because we need to keep the character's integrity to, make it so people who have played him for like 30 years can still play him, but it would be a funny thing to see.
They almost could have done it with Oni.
Yeah. They always could have done it with Evil Ryu.
Oh, did I say Oni? Oni,
yeah.
Right, Oni is evil Akuma. Fuck.
But Evil or Akuma, yeah.
Who's the demon Ryu?
Evil Ryu or Kage. They're basically the same character.
Kage. They are pretty much the same character, but I was thinking demon Ryu because of the horns.
Oh yeah, I always forget the horns exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could work for Kage, but I don't know. Kage seems to me like replacement Oni, only this time with more Ryu.
Really, he's a way of having evil Ryu come back in games where Ryu is already dealt with his inner demons. You know?
Yeah. Now we just story-wise, I'm just really interested in how they would do it because they have shown that Akuma also hits Kage. So it would be funny if freaking Ryu and Akuma teamed up to kill Kage or some shit. Like Akuma spends so much time trying to turn Ryu to this Satsuno Haru, and then it just goes out from him, and then the two of them kill it.
I think one of the alpha versions, I don't remember which, did have a part where like Akuma, Sakura, Sagat, and Ken all had to team up to fight evil Ryu with the psycho power.
Oh yeah, that's another trivia that I read about this is how originally the Hadouken was supposed to be a psycho power. Which, I mean, an interesting thing, yeah. It would have made Akuma and Bison a bit too much alike, but yeah.
Yeah. Especially since in Alpha, Bison pretty much gets a Hadouken anyways.
Yeah.
Alright, what's your favorite ending in the game that you can think of?
I feel like Akuma's is pretty good just because it doesn't actually say shit. Like
doesn't it just like kill Captain America and that's it?
Akuma's ending is he's looking at the moon, which is red because blood, and he's like, I guess I am really strong. And then it pans out, and Ryu, Chun-Li, Captain America, and Thor or someone like that are lying dead at his feet.
Why would he kill Chun-Li?
I don't know.
It doesn't make no sense.
He killed Chun-Li just to make sure she can't arrest him for murder.
Oh man. You know what's one of my favorites?
Yeah.
X-23's ending, where Wolverine goes into the backyard of the X-Mansion. He just sees Galactus fucking dead, like covering up half of upstate New York. And X-23 just turns to him and goes, "Well, now who's the apprentice and who's the master?" And Wolverine just says, "How are we gonna fucking clean this up?"
Oh yeah, Magneto is also pretty good. As I think about it, but his ending,
I've seen it.
Yeah, Magneto's ending is.
He hijacks the world ship.
Yeah, he makes the world ship the new mutant home planet, which I felt was nice. It kept in character with Magneto that he's not completely evil. He just wants to be left alone.
Yeah, I like that there's a divide between, like, some characters get joke endings, which would be relevant to the character, like Deadpool. Of course, Deadpool gets a joke ending. But, like, someone like Magneto, there's not much humor to be derived, so you actually figure out what his desired ending would be, you know?
Yeah. But some of them, it doesn't make sense in freaking universe, though, even. Because Ryu's ending is that he I guess beats Iron Fist or something and takes up the Iron Fist power, and then he goes up to Akuma and just freaking sucker punches him. But why would Akuma get beaten by the Iron Fist power if he spends the game shit talking Iron Fist? Like because
he shit talks Iron Fist doesn't mean he's better than Iron Fist.
I mean, I guess, but when you beat Iron Fist with Akuma, he's like, well, yes, I have heard of the Kunlun power. It's pretty shit.
Yeah, and I'm sure when Iron Fist beats Akuma, he says, "Oh, I've heard of the Ansatsuken. It's shit."
I don't know.
It's
I
just as simple
haven't
as
yeah.
two kung fu guys who probably dislike each other quite a bit.
Could be, yeah.
I don't think Capcom was trying to establish our character is better than Iron Fist. I think it's just that Akuma's a dick.
I don't know. They're also inconsistent with that. That's the worst part of Akuma. Capcom can decide what he is.
I mean, Akuma would probably be a dick to Iron Fist because he'd see him as a rival.
Yeah, true.
Because Iron Fist is probably the best martial artist of the Marvel universe, which would very much put him on Akuma's shit list, you know?
Yeah.
In the same way that he's always going after Gin. Which I appreciate some of the little crossovers that they do like that. Like Ryu getting the Iron Fist, that's pretty cool. I liked Wolverine, the celebrate beating Galactus, goes to a fucking strip joint.
Oh, yeah.
And the top stripper is Morgan for some reason.
Just keeping in character.
Yeah. Oh, Ghost Rider finally gets to beat Mephisto with Dante's help. That was a cool one.
Yeah. I also like Shimagoretz, which is once again just showing how much Japan loves him. Like Shimagoretz thing is he's on a game show and it looks like he's being invited to talk about how he beat Galactus because Japanese people wouldn't be as weirded out by freaking Cthulhu, I guess. But Shimagoretz is invited onto a game show and then he's having a monologue like, you know, I awoke. I came here to destroy the world, and this happens, and then it just changes scenes, and it turns out he's not invited onto the game show to talk about shit. He's the host.
Oh,
Shimagoret got a Japanese game show.
Of course he did.
Yeah,
I appreciate that they have him like directly say, "I was here to blow the fucking world up. Why do they love me?"
yeah, he's weirded out by it, but then he's like, well, I mean, I guess if you can beat him, join him. which is really funny to think that an old god would just be like that.
I'll settle for a TV show host. Fuck it. What's my pay rate? What? Okay, back to destroying the world.
Yeah.
Okay, the coolest like character-wise ending to me is Wesker being like, there are a lot of superpowers on this world. What if I harvest their powers for complete global dissemination? And he just makes a fucking nemesis with Wolverine's powers for some reason. Which is pretty fucking scary.
I mean, we didn't we already basically have a nemesis with Wolverine powers in that white dude? With half a hand?
Whoa.
I forget
Are you talking about it?
Yeah?
No, go ahead.
I think it's a tyrant.
The original tyrant.
It might be, yeah.
The original tyrants are way too stupid.
Ah, okay.
Like, legitimately, the first tyrant gored Wesker through his chest with that massive claw. That's why Wesker has superpowers, because he had to take drugs to regrow the massive hole in his chest.
I see.
The thing is, like, in order to make the tyrants intelligent, you have to either have to make a Mr. X or attach the Nemesis parasite. And when you attach the Nemesis parasite, it makes the Nemesis look like, well, the Nemesis.
Yeah. And also in both cases, the intelligence is really questionable.
Yeah. I mean, Nemesis is a smart guy. He knows how to use weapons. It's just he doesn't bother to talk, because
so can monkeys.
I have yet to see a monkey figure out how to use a fucking rocket launcher, man.
That's true, but I have seen a monkey figure out how to use an assault rifle.
That must have been fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find the video for you.
I'm just imagining that picture of Kermit with an AK-47.
More or less, yes. Actually, pretty on point.
Oh man! All right.
Yeah.
If let's say if there's a Marvel 4, right? What if they just call it Marvel 4? Ignore Infinite. Pretend Infinite didn't happen. It's Marvel vs. Capcom 4, right?
Yeah.
All right. Pick 5 characters for them to add to either side of the roster.
Well,
starting with Masamune, of course.
Do you mean
overall?
You know what?
No, let's say Masamune is a free pick because you've already been vocal about him.
Do you mean overall or like added to the Threes roster?
Added to whichever side of the roster you want. Just 5 added overall.
But I'm asking, does 4 have 3's roster already, or can I add in characters from 3? Just to make sure.
Let's go ahead and say it does have 3's roster.
All right, because that does change things. Shit, this is where you can tell that I'm actually not that freaking well versed in Capcom. Capcom games aside from the like 3 series that I like from them.
I mean, there's. What would you say is a franchise that Capcom underappreciates with this? I mean, it's guaranteed that they'll probably move the amount of Devil May Cry roster slots up to 4 after how much of a success 5 was, right?
Yeah, V would be nice. V would be an interesting thing just because they would have to do a Car Clover.
And they'd probably replace Trish with Nero.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's difficult to say because Trish is not the most popular character in the series, but she does already have a complete moveset.
Yeah, I don't know. Trish just triggers me because Trish always beats my ass.
She is brutal with that lightning bullshit, ain't she?
Yeah.
Oh man,
but
it's wild to me that they picked her because at that time she'd only been playable in 1 game.
It would be funny if we could have the whole team. So like we get Virgil, Dante, Nero, Trish, Lady, and V.
You know, I love that. Though I think you'd hate having Lady there because she'd be pure zoner.
I mean, they could actually try and make a freaking gun character that can do things aside from zoning, while also having strong zoning.
Dante's just strong at everything. That's kind of his point.
Yeah, true.
All right, so
Captain
we'll say
Commando.
V for the first pick.
Captain Commando.
That's a totally fair pick. Absolutely.
So
complete with Baby.
Yeah, complete with freaking Marvel 1 assists of the other 2 guys from Captain Commando.
3. There was a mummy, a ninja, and Baby.
I forgot about the ninja.
Yeah, he kind of was a bit bland compared to Mummy, Gangster, and Baby, wasn't he?
Yeah, the Mummy Gangster also smoked.
Yes.
But
he had a cigarette for every game he's been in.
Yeah. So V, Captain Commando, let's see who else I can actually freaking think of. It would be hard to get the rights, but I wouldn't mind if they would release the Japan exclusive joke character from the first game that was based on a comedian.
Right, that guy. I'm surprised you haven't brought up Amingo yet.
Amingo is a weird character. He's kind of in the same ballpark as Shumagore to me, just because I hated them whenever I played against them. But like I've looked back at them fondly somewhat.
Amingo is just like what the fuck Capcom. Like you, that's kind of what I appreciate. You know.
Yeah. Also Hayato. I want Hayato back.
Ha! Who was that guy? Who was the boss that had like the giant armor, like Abyss or something?
Was it Onslaught? Yeah, Onslaught would be fun.
Onslaught's a Marvel character.
Yeah, but still, I would like Onslaught back.
Freaking,
yeah.
That'd be as close to a playable Professor X as we'll ever get.
Yeah. Also Venom Onslaught. That I'm not sure if that was freaking official. Probably not. But even so, that was freaking stupid. Holy hell.
I mean, if you want stupid fighting game characters, going with Mugen's Marvel stuff is all you need to look at.
Yeah.
Venom would be a fun one to bring back, though.
Yeah, Venom would be a fun one. If we're going with Marvel Mugen shit. For the Capcom side, I have to name drop my main, Rare Akuma.
Rare Akuma?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That would be, like, honestly, I wouldn't even be salty if freaking Capcom or Marvel 4 came out and you had to go through, like, the stupidest, hardest freaking hoops, but you could get Rare Akuma in the game officially. It would be... Like, ban him from online, ban him from online ranked play, keep him in lobbies, keep him in locals. He's totally freaking broken. He's actually just a Mugen character, but, like, you need to beat freaking Galactus or whoever the equivalent is in that game, like, I don't know, 50 times on the hardest difficulty or some shit.
With only the team of Dan, Roll, and Amingo.
Yeah.
And once you do it, though, you just get a pop-up. You have unlocked Rare Akuma and Rare Thanos.
No, you have to fight them, and then if you beat them, then you win them.
Nobody will ever unlock them.
True. Well, you can unlock them if you just pay the $39.99.
Oh man. Well, what would be like a complete trio, a 3-man team of rares? Because Rare Akuma and Rare Thanos. Who's another character that they could make rare?
Rare Doom.
Rare Doom.
All the feet. The feet is constantly raining from the sky.
Not feet, you fool. Foot.
Yeah,
foot. Hit missiles. Foot. I love Doom. He's so stupid.
Rare Doom would be so freaking... Like, just imagining what the hell he could do is really interesting. Because, like, imagine, whenever you do a foot dive, hidden missiles also triggers.
The pressure would never end.
I mean, it doesn't. But even more so, yeah.
Oh, man. I love having Doom on my team in Marvel 3 just for the hidden missiles.
Dude, Rare Akuma, Rare Thanos, Mango Sentinel. Or that, or even better, just to have them make a callback. Freaking Infinite Iron Man. And all he does is the Iron Man Infinite, but that's the only version of him that can actually do the Iron Man Infinite.
As soon as you even like jab your opponent, the your controller gets taken over by AI, and it just does the infinite for you.
Yeah, if Infinite Iron Man is actually the combo auto combo for game mode. You just keep pressing light jab, and he keeps doing the infinite. But if you actually input the infinite, the real infinite, then you do more damage.
Okay, imagine extra rare Akuma.
What would the intro be?
In the intro, he just raging demons your opponent, and you get an instant win.
I mean, that would remove the fun from it.
He M-Bisons them.
Yeah.
The entire enemy team gets M-Bisoned.
No. The leader of the enemy team gets M-Bison. The other two characters get a debuff that make it so their health goes down faster. But extra rare Akuma can only be picked solo. Just to keep him balanced.
I was going to say, if extra rare Akuma is tagged out, then there are just constantly fireballs coming in from off screen.
I mean, that would just be mean, then. Like, as much as I like Rare Akuma because of how stupid and broken he is, there is still some logic as to how he functions, even though he is stupidly broken on purpose. Like, it's not just, oh, you spawn in and die. It's, oh, you spawn in, try to do a jab, and then die.
Yeah, you definitely at a certain point get into Omega Tom Hanks territory, don't you?
Yeah.
There's still something I love deep in my heart about the most OP Mugen character being fucking Tom Hanks. And he just throws copies of his movies at you.
Extra rare Akuma does a Kongo Koretsu-zan. The stage breaks in half.
Oh, fuck.
It does a Dragon Ball zoom out to the world, and the world breaks in half.
Shoryuken Planet Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, extra rare Akuma. If extra rare Akuma dies with 5 bars, then the camera zooms out from the planet Earth, and it is revealed that he actually just left to fight with the Earth itself. Then you just do Marvel combos on the Earth.
Dark extra rare Akuma.
Bloody hell.
Fuck it, we're doing Mugen. We're doing Mugen for next week. I need to try Rare Akuma. I've not tried him yet. I need to see what you're talking about.
Dark Shadow Extra Rare Akuma. All of that, but also with Gear to Gear freaking excellent core AI on very hard.
Dark extra rare Akuma God.
How much more stupid can we make this?
Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, dark Shadow Extra Rare Ultra Instinct Akuma Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Freaking.
What was it in Blaze Blue? The crazy versions of Unlimited.
Yeah, Unlimited. Also, he has a Bankai. he possesses the QB.
Like, just leave that character in control of the AI against a copy of itself, and you were just watching the most absurd Dragon Ball fight ever.
Yeah.
They're just flying all over the fucking screen.
I mean, that's already Rare Akuma in some cases, though.
Yeah.
Rare Akuma can teleport. I wish I was joking. Yeah.
Have I ever shown you guard flying from Devil May Cry 4?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, let's go ahead and say we're going to do Mugen next week, or in 2 weeks. All right?
Yeah.
We good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, with that said, we'll see you later, folks, because I'm about to show Eddie the dumbest thing in Devil May Cry.